Hello! Welcome. This is my first work diary. Now, what does that mean? I had this idea when on the toilet the other day, just last week. I thought it'd be fun to give an insight into my professional side of things. So this is not about what I do personally, but more just things I do outside of streaming, perhaps. I get questions quite often about what I do, and I think it would be interesting to kind of give you some insight into how much time I put into certain things, certain issues I face, certain thoughts, how things are going. Maybe do this twice a month. So I started a notes app and started writing down thoughts every day and how much time I spent on certain things. And I thought it would be fun to maybe give this a go. You can let me know in the comments what you think, if you think it was interesting, and maybe some questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and then I'll probably do another one of these in a week or two, if unless everyone says that it sucked, and maybe I'll answer some of your questions as well. So I've got all my notes that I wrote down in my phone, in my notes app here, and I haven't really planned this a lot, so I figure I'll just give it a go and go through it and talk about why I wrote certain things and how things are going. So on Thursday the 8th, that's the day that I thought of the plan. I wrote, prepare secret project. Now I have a secret project I'm working on at the moment. I will be able to tell you how much time I put into it. I will not be able to tell you what it is, but I can tell you that I have two people employed on it. I have a developer and a artist who are both putting in many hours per week working on this. I myself spent 40 minutes on this day. I wrote not a lot today. Battle of the Boys is on my mind. Fair enough. I spent an hour looking to the... Well, I spent about an hour looking into Battle of the Boys on this day. So what I ended up doing was I discussed... because this is the day before Battle of the Boys, and Hobo had a good list. We had decided on a list of prizes for quite some time, but we kept changing a couple. The biggest challenge with Battle of the Boys, I think, was balancing between what's funny and what's actually good and that people will want. But we got a good list in the end. I really like, the vacuum cleaner and the tickets to Europe. I thought was great, and then we had funny stuff such as the penis thing and the dino penis and then the cat. I genuinely thought people would like the cat. I thought that was a good one. I thought it was like the seal, but I was the only one who liked it. In fact, I've bought one myself. I'm getting one just for me because I really liked it. Yeah, so I spent about an hour, not a lot of time. I mean, Hobo puts in most of the time with Battle of the Boys. I just kind of delegate and talk to her about what we're doing. Spent about 20 minutes fixing some NAS stuff. We bought Sunset on NAS. Well, I bought half of the NAS because he's using it for private stuff as well. To make things easier and faster for him, because we have all of our stuff stored on NAS here locally, and Flash has a NAS that it backs up to, an off-site backup, and now Sunset has one as well, but he's been having some issues with it, so we spent about 20 minutes working on that. Discovered that the Madison video was limited on the main channel despite efforts. Limited videos on YouTube are a pain because you cannot find what the issue is. Sometimes they give very general ideas like, ooh, there's a lot of swearing, and it's kind of like, well, it's the same amount of swearing as all our other videos. Or, ooh, it's too violent, and it's like Nidhogg, and it's pixelized blood, like it's like from MS Paint, so it can be very tough. With the Madison video, it got limited. We made it available for members, and it got limited and set to 18 plus. Now, when a video goes limited, you don't usually see it go 18 plus as well, so that gave us a clue that it's something more than swearing. In Madison, there's a naked grandma that keeps popping up with, fully naked. So we went to Jeff, our newest editor, who made this one, and we said, hey, sorry about this, man. Can you censor? The challenge was to censor grandma in a way where basically she's flat-chested, and not like blur it. So he had to do some movie magic on this, because if you blur it, when she pops up and it's scary, it's gonna take you out of the immersion. I'll show some before and afters here. Well, I can't. I'll link some before and afters. I put up a tweet about it. I'll link it in the the top of the description. Remind me in the comments if I forget. And you can have a look at what we did. So we did that, uploaded it again, and that ended up solving it, we thought. I'll get back to that. Yeah. What did we... I decided to share pics. So initially I only shared the pics as a behind the scenes thing for members on YouTube, but YouTube posts, their format doesn't work well. Sometimes if it's not the right aspect ratio, like it says it's supported, this aspect ratio, then when you click on it and stuff, it'll cut off the edges. So I just threw it up on Twitter. I wrote, argue with a guy on Twitter, mistake. Yeah, it's never worth it. I had a counter at that point that said, 113 days since last relapse, and now we're back to single digits. Yeah, it's never worth it. So I ended up deleting the tweets, and it was just a mistake. Don't argue with people on Twitter. What was it about? Yeah, I posted about Moira, and then he replied with basically a get good, but way longer than that. And we were talking a bit, and then I discovered like he was getting toxic about it, and then I looked on his profile, and he said some insults to me months ago and stuff on Alex's tweet. So it basically ended up, I realized he's a hate watcher. So I ended up deleting it in the end, and it was just a big mistake. But people, at the end of the day, my professional and personal lesson from that, to go away from that, is people suck and people aren't worth the time. And honestly, we could go on the subject of Twitter. I'm considering deleting Twitter for my own mental health. But I do feel that professionally, I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, yeah, screw Twitter. I was like, the tough thing is that it's so good for getting updates out to people. And he was like, yeah. And he gave it a comparison, which I never thought of before, but it shows how good Twitter is. It's basically emails. It's basically update emails. It's as if I would come with... it's as if I had an email list where I come out with updates every other day. Nobody would sign up for that. But on Twitter, it works. I can put up updates about how things are going or what's coming up, and people care and stuff. And I love Twitter for that. But I hate it for how offended people get just by simply saying that I don't like something. Like, people are like, what? So it can be tough like that. General Twitter things, time spent, 45 minutes, higher than usual, not worth it. That was the conclusion of that. I discovered a TikTok went viral. Over 1 million views. It's been a while since a TikTok went viral that big. So Flash, I wrote this here. Flash has been doing really well on TikTok recently. He's been picking some really good clips. But this is the first time one went over 1 million views in a long time. So really nice to see. TikTok's doing really well. If you go to my TikTok, you'll notice quite a lot of them are up in the hundreds of thousands. So I'm very pleased to see that. If you want, I can discuss in a future video how I see TikTok. Because I don't like TikTok, but again, professionally, it's good to have. And I can go a little deeper into it. I've got quite a lot. I think this is going to be a big one in terms of a journal. There's a lot that went on. So let me know if you want me to talk a bit more about that. I've been having some tech issues as well with the stream PC. So on this day, we started looking into it. You've noticed if you watch my streams, a lot of streams crash very randomly. So on this day, I sent some OBS logs to a tech guy that Lucas introduced me to. So hopefully, I even wrote, stream PC crashed again today, want to fix it. Yeah, so it's been crashing a lot. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that. And then a 6-hour stream. I didn't stream the Game Awards because they were on until 5 a.m. my time. They started 2 a.m. So that's okay. I was very pleased with Two Kingdom. I love a good chill stream. It does well on Mortillo, and it's so much fun to stream. So I streamed Kingdom 2 Crowns. And it wasn't sponsored, but about an hour into it, we discovered that it's on my Nexus. Nexus is a website I have that's run for influencers, where you can sell your games. It's all official. It's done through Steam. You get Steam codes. The developers, any game that you find on Nexus, the developers have said yes to. So if you go to my Nexus store, you can search for any game, and if it pops up, you get the code. It says how much of a cut I get, and you know that the developer gets money. It's all done. So Steam, actually, I didn't know this. Steam allows developers to sell their games for Steam, like Steam codes, on other websites, and Steam will not take a cut from that. So the way Nexus works is that they'll ask a developer, say Kingdom 2 Crowns, and they'll say, hey, do you want to sell this on our store? Influencers like Teo's Game here, if he streams it, he will advertise it. that it's on his store, you'll still get your cut, and Steam doesn't get a cut. Instead, the cut that Steam usually gets goes to, in this case, half of it goes to Nexus, half of it goes to me. So it's a really good way of kind of like, I'm not even doing a sponsored stream, but you can see the effect it has. So I just mentioned it casually on stream. I probably had 5 sales during the stream on my Nexus for it. And then in the next 2 days, I had another maybe 30 sales from Mortio. And I didn't even pin a link or anything. It's just from you guys watching it on Mortio, realizing this looks like a good game. He mentioned Nexus. Let's go look that up, and you buy it for yourselves. It's a really good way of doing it, and it's a really nice income stream for me. It also shows how so I think a lot of people look at streaming and they say, how much does it really do for these developers? And it's a really direct way of being able to go, oh, okay, so in this case, just looking at direct sales, not looking at people who say, oh, this looks good, I'm going to grab that on sale in 6 months, on Steam. And anyone who goes, oh, this looks good, let me go get that on Steam. I can't see them. So this is just direct sales through something I mentioned casually, 35 sales based on one stream. And so that shows directly how many people I influenced to go buy the game at minimum from a chill stream of the game. And I think that's really cool. It's a cool effect that you get to see that. So it was about a 6-hour stream, ended it at 1:40. I wrote, happy about it. Nice doing a new game finally. It was chill. Yeah, professionally and personally, I feel a lot of games have been kind of crap recently. So it was nice playing just a quality game with Flash. We had a good time. I'm looking forward to playing it again. Unfortunately, I think he's going away over Christmas and we won't be able to play it again until he's back. So, but that's okay. Something to look forward to. So that was my Thursday. So that was a 6-hour stream and about 40 minutes preparing Secret Project, 20 minutes on the NAS, and about an hour on Battle of the Boys, 45 minutes Twitter. So it's a good day, good work day. Then on the Friday, this is the day of Battle of the Boys. I, of course, in school, I would always, I'm sure people can relate, I would do essays, tests, I do it as late as possible. An example is I did Swedish. For Swedish, I had to read a book and do an essay on it. Had about 2 weeks to read it. I chose The Hunger Games. This is actually the book that got me into reading. Didn't read it until the last day. It was due on a Monday. I read through the whole book on the Sunday before. It took me about, I think I laid down on the couch and spent about 4 or 5 hours reading through it. And then I wrote the journal, or the essay. And that's very much how I do things with work. I've had months to prepare for this. And on the day of Battle of the Boys, I went out and spent 2 hours Christmas shopping. So I bought all the decorations you can see behind me. And then I spent about 2 hours when I was back preparing, setting things up. I wrote Hobo comes in clutch with the intermission. I actually last minute, about an hour before Battle of the Boys is about to start, hour and a half, I told Hobo saying, oh, it'd be cool to have a Christmas intermission. Half an hour later, she comes back to me with 4 different intermission designs. I choose one, throw it on. Try a change that the tech guy came back to me with for OBS. So he had a scaling question. So I changed a bit in the Elgato and started the stream, immediately crashes. So I know that issue isn't fixed. And then, yeah, Battle of the Boys started. It was a success. Very pleased with it. And I wrote taking Saturday off to recover. So that was Friday. And then Saturday comes along. Saturday. Fuck, spent some time brainstorming with Flash about the stupid limited ads Battle of the Boys VOD. Yeah, so Battle of the Boys, unfortunately facing, it's a lot of limited ads recently. It's a problem on YouTube, and I can go super deep into it. Again, let me know if you want me to. But for now, all I'll say is it's a pain. The Madison video ended up good after the censorship. It was good for about 2 days, and then it got limited. With 18 plus. You have to be 18 plus to watch the Madison video on my main channel. And we don't know why. YouTube isn't clear enough. And as I said, I could go very deep into this, but for now, the issue we're looking at right here on the Saturday, and I'm brainstorming with Flash about it, is why did the Battle of the Boys VOD on Mortio get limited? Sunday, many Discord messages. Flash has mentioned a theory about Battle of the Boys. The Dino Dick. Will try. So throughout the VOD, there's a Dino Dick text under my webcam, and obviously in the intro. It's censored, but there's still the text. So it's a really good theory. And I actually tried it out. I tried out the theory by rendering 2 minutes of the VOD One with it raw, where the text is clear, DynoDick, and one where we censored it. We did the same with the intro. Put them both up thinking the one uncensored will get limited, the one censored will not. No, YouTube's fine with both. So I don't know if, it's hard to know with YouTube, but clearly they didn't think it was a problem with the DynoDick. So that ended up being an issue for a few days. What more did I do on the Sunday? I spent 2 hours brainstorming with the tech guy on how to improve my setup. I faced quite a few issues with my setup, and I could spend hours talking about it. I've got a really nice setup, I'm very happy, but there's a couple of issues that really irk me. I could give you an example. When I play games, I'm at 144 hertz, it's streaming, everything's good, G-Sync. If I minimize my chat, my game flow is so much smoother, and I discover, oh my God, it's either that I haven't been playing like with G-Sync properly or 144 hertz. My chat, if I open it up again, it's like not as, something about the chat moving makes my game feel not as smooth. My current theory is that when I play with chat up, the chat is on a monitor that's 60 hertz. I have a theory that the game, my main monitor, is being limited to 60 hertz when there's movement on the 60 hertz monitor. So that's one of many issues I face. We're discussing it. It actually shouldn't really be like that. So we were brainstorming for 2 hours about it. I spent about 40 minutes sending him a big picture of my whole setup. I have a very complicated setup. That's why it took 40 minutes to draw all the cables and stuff. And it was really nice having another guy have a nerdy reaction about it, because most people just make fun of me when I say like, oh, I have 5 monitors, I have Elgato going, and people are like, why so complicated? And I'm like, because it solves this issue, this issue, this issue. Nobody really cares. But so it was really nice to finally have a guy who was like, I love this. This is amazing. Like, I'm going to spend hours looking at this because it's literally all kinds of lines and like, you wouldn't believe it if I showed you. So it was really nice to have someone else have a reaction to that. And so we scheduled a call for the upcoming Wednesday. This is Sunday then, that I gave him this picture to say, here, this is your homework for the call. And he was like, yeah, I'm into it. No, so he was really into that. So that was 2 hours on that, plus the brainstorming. That was Sunday. And then Monday, Battle of the Boys, still limited. Because at this point, Flash had done, he re-rendered the whole VOD. What is it, 6 hours? But he censored the DynoDick, thinking like, let's give it a try, even though your test didn't work. It went limited, even though it's censored. So I wrote, I give up, requested a review. So you can request a human to review it. And they probably on their end don't have to watch the 6 hour VOD. They probably have little timestamps, which we don't get to see, where it's like Flash says the W word for a loose woman, you know, and it's fair if they want to limit because of that, but I'd love to know, because we could easily render it out and censor the parts they don't like. But they don't give you that option. And again, I can go way deeper into the whole how YouTube handles limited ads in a future video. Let me know. I made a thumbnail for the YouTube video, for the Overwatch video on the main channel. Really happy with it. Yeah, something about it. I felt very creative with the punch and the and the bronze logo. So I was very happy with that. Funny title, actually. The title was made, that was Sunsets. He usually sets temporary titles, and I usually don't use them, actually. But this one, I thought it worked so well, so I used it. That video ended up doing well, not quite as well as my previous Overwatch 2 videos. I get a feeling that maybe YouTube's been pushing Overwatch quite a lot, and my videos have done really well because of that, and I've found a new audience, which I always get very happy about, because that's my biggest struggle on YouTube. But this video didn't do as well, and I suspect it's because of that. I suspect it's because, yeah, maybe the hype around Overwatch 2 has slowed down a little. So I actually changed the title just yesterday. Kept the same thumbnail, changed the title. I'm very open these days to experimenting, so I'll just see if it, you know, bounces a little bit because of it. The Overwatch 2 video that went viral a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two, that one I actually ended up, the first 2 days it didn't do very well. Like, it did okay. In fact, it did pretty bad compared to other videos. And then it was called Overwatch 2.exe or something, and then like a wide Roadhog or something, like Orisa, I think. And then I changed it to Overwatch 2, whatever it's called now, and then that thumbnail, and it popped off. Within a day, I saw results. It was just... So I'm going to be experimenting a lot more. You'll see more experimenting on my main channel in the future. I think I need to get more loose with how I think around videos and not be so... Like that thumbnail, I hate it, to be honest, but it did well. And that's just the truth of it. If like on one hand, you can judge people for what they said as thumbnails and stuff. Like Linus Tech Tips goes through that issue a lot, where people are like, why do you clickbait so much? And he's like, because it works. And to me, I think it's okay. Play the game. At the end of the day, people should judge you for how you act in the video, not for how it's presented for you to click on it. So I think I need to get in that mindset a little more. And I'm not saying I'm going to clickbait the shit out of people, but I think I need to be okay with doing thumbnails that perhaps are a little against my like YouTube morals or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, I was really happy with that Overwatch thumbnail. And then I streamed 5 hours. So I spent about an hour on the YouTube thumbnail and then 5 hours on streaming Choo Choo Charles. I was done at 2 a.m. that day. It was a late stream. Tuesday, 2 hours discussing tech upgrade. Yeah, I was talking to the tech guy again to prepare for the Wednesday in which we would talk in a call. So we're just talking over text, brainstorming a bit. And I also, so Jeff, our new editor, we've been having an Adobe issue. Sunset, Ducky, and Flash the last 2 years have been on an old version of Adobe Premiere because I can go deep with it. I'm going to choose not to. It all comes down to that OBS records at a variable frame rate, meaning that if your recording drops frames for whatever reason, the recording, it's a bit weird. You could probably look it up. But Jeff basically started experimenting with that. So he paused the Gartic Phone video because he was having so much trouble because it was lagging so much, even though we use proxies. And looked into it, and he found that was the reason, which we didn't know. I'm just saying it now that I know it. It's the frame rate. That's the issue. We've had, because on a new version of Premiere, we have these issues where the video won't play properly, even if it's a 480p proxy. So I recorded a test, he experimented, and he found that's the issue, and he solved it. Solved it that day. The Gartic Phone video got delayed because of it, but this is a big, big step up. He solved it now, so we're going to be putting our videos through a software called Handbrake, and that will make the frame rate static or whatever. I don't know what it's called when it's set. So that was a huge pog. Really good work to him. And I wrote, more TO Battle of the Boys VOD is solved, thank the Lord. Yeah, he ended up, in YouTube when you upload, you can choose how much violence and stuff. And he had only been choosing swear words, Flash, when he uploads. He's the one who takes care of my Morteo VODs. And on this one, he was like, okay, well, let me put in, he said he forgot. Technically, he should have done it. He needed to put in that there's mild violence because there's a lot of blood and stuff in Pummel Party. And it ended up solved, so we assumed that was why. But then 2 days later, the VOD got limited again. And so now it's limited. And that's a huge revenue loss. The first Battle of the Boys VOD from last year, 2020, made $1,000. So this year's Battle of the Boys VOD getting limited. It's nice that we got those first 2 days of proper revenue, but then after that it's limited. Over the year, it's going to get a lot of views. Last year's has almost 100,000 views last I checked. It's a big loss in revenue, it going limited. So we tried our best, but it's even more loss in revenue and us spending more time on it. And it's up at that point. We can't do anything other than request a human review, which we did. They came back and told us it's going to stay limited. They claim it's because of too much swearing. We're swearing the same amount in this VOD as any other video. And I know that it's an acceptable amount, unless YouTube has recently changed their policy on it. Again, I'm going to end up going really deep in it here, so I'm not going to. Let me know if I should. They're not public enough about their changes, basically. And it's very frustrating. As a YouTuber, you have to very much guess often. You have to guess. You spend a lot of time. You waste a lot of time guessing what they want. And then I streamed that Tuesday. Streamed Project Playtime. It sucked. Been very sad recently about new games sucking, so we played Codenames instead. Also, it was the day that I did the America thing. I guess professionally, I can tell you that it's embarrassing to... doing any sort of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, or exposing your intelligence can be very embarrassing, because chat likes to be... So the effect of having 1,000 people in chat is that no matter what you get asked or what knowledge you show you don't have, someone in chat knows it. And you can end up feeling very stupid. But the American one was fun because I don't feel bad not knowing where all the states are or exactly how the border to Canada goes. It's okay. Like, maybe I should know some of it, but I think it made for good content. Something we've started doing recently, I've been very outspoken about Morteo and that comments can be very like just casually toxic about people, whether it's my friends or me. So I know that both me and my friends, we usually try to avoid reading more TO comments. So for Battle of the Boys and for this America one, we set comments to be on hold, so they need approval. So Hobo, the beast that she is, has been approving comments for these VODs, which makes it way more pleasurable and fun, not only for me and my friends, but for you guys, the viewers, to be able to scroll down and read comments and them actually not being unnecessarily toxic. So I think we're going to be experimenting with that a lot more in the future. Not for every VOD, but VODs where I think it's a lot more higher chance that toxicity will come out. It's meant that I can go to the America VOD and actually read comments, or the Battle of the Boys, and it's a lovely experience because you're not having someone go, oh, Tio is such a fucking dick for doing this to Katie. Like, and people going in the replies and discussing how ugly someone is. Like, it's way more pleasant now to not see that. So you'll be seeing that more. Shout out to Hobo for being on top of approving comments and declining the bad ones, obviously. That was the Tuesday. So 2 hours on the tech upgrade and then streamed. Like a 5-hour stream, maybe, something like that. Wednesday the 14th. Spent 2 hours on the secret project, which I cannot tell you any details of. And then we had the tech upgrade call, tech support, tech upgrade call. So that went well, really exciting. I ordered a new product called the Beacon Mix. I am going to be doing a video in the future. Along with my setup video, I'm going to be doing a tech deep dive that'll go up along with the setup video on more TO. And I'll discuss some of the issues that I've faced with what is now my current setup, and how hopefully what I'm about to upgrade to will solve it, such as the new monitors that I'm looking at and this Beacon Mix. I'm looking to avoid voice meter. That's why I ordered the Beacon Mix. It seems to be a step ahead of the Go XLR. There's a lot of tech stuff which I don't want to go into here. I'm happy to do in the deep dive include how I fix certain issues that I have. Hopefully, I can mention one thing I'm hoping this will fix. The Beacon Mix should, if I can get all my audio through it, means that I don't need to use voice meter, which means that my headset won't have a delay. I always play with about 100 millisecond delay through voice meter. Don't really notice it unless I play horror games. That's why sometimes my reactions look a little delayed, because I get more scared by the audio than what comes on screen. So, yeah, I wrote fun that he's excited about my setup. Yeah, we just ended up nerding it out and solving stuff, and he upgraded some of my stuff for the computer, which again I can go into in the deep dive. I can talk about there. And then that was done quite late. I had some other stuff I had to do in my private life, so. Spent 2 hours on the secret project, 2 hours on the tech upgrade, and then around, I did a very late stream, but it had to be sponsored. It was the last day I could do my sponsored stream of this. So I played The Hunter, not up here on Morteo. Let me know if I should upload it, but it was a sponsored stream, really fun. Yeah, it was a success. Really chill vibes, but like, ooh, like, I don't know, it was a really fun game to be sponsored by to stream. So thanks to the devs on that one. So that was about 2 hours, and then I felt nauseous. I had to go to bed. I had some bad Thai food. At the time, and Thursday here, the next morning, I wrote that I thought it was a minor cold. So I take it out easy on the Thursday, but I think I got some sort of bug from the food from this Thai place. Yeah, all I did on the Thursday was read about monitors for 2 hours. Yeah, I spent about 2 hours just looking into 240 hertz monitors and reading about the tech, looking up reviews, leaning towards the Samsung G7 right now. I think it's called the G7 Odyssey. But I'm also waiting for, there's a new LG one, an OLED coming out that's 240 hertz. 1440p is what I'm looking for, 27 inch. And then there's an Asus? I think there's an Acer one coming using the same panel from LG. So I'm waiting on reviews from them. I think it's a big thing, and I don't want to make these work journals tech deep dive unless someone asks me specifically. I'm going to try to do chapters as well. So, yeah, I'm happy to go deeper into it if you want. But, yeah, just spent 2 hours reading about monitors. I can go deeper into it when I actually decide what monitor I went for and why. Friday the 16th. Yeah, Thursday I didn't do much after that. Just 2 hours on the monitors, and then I laid down on the couch and watched some CSGO that was on. Friday the 16th, yeah, this is my receipt day. Once a month I have to go through receipts. That's just what I have to do with my company. This was a big one. I spent 4 hours going through receipts because last month, it's November's receipts. Last month, I went to Copenhagen, so there was a lot of physical receipts. And that, it's not fun, but it's not boring. I always play a bunch of really, really hype, like club music and like ABBA and stuff. ABBA. It's so funny. My friends even know that if I'm listening to music, if they see I'm listening to Spotify, they know I'm either doing taxes or I'm out driving. Has been the result. So Katie sent me a message about an hour into it saying, "You're doing taxes, aren't you?" So, yeah. Took me 4 hours. It sucked. And then I was really tired. It's like 9 p.m. when I finished. So I just said, fuck it, I'm going to stream some Overwatch 2. Finished at 1 a.m. roughly. Chill, not chill day. Shitty day, but it was fun to end it with just some Overwatch. And then yesterday, Saturday, I spent 2 hours on video stuff. So that was thumbnails. I was experimenting with some thumbnails. I was reading up on analytics. I've been studying my analytics a little more recently. I don't like to focus on stats. I've been very outspoken about, for Twitch, I never know how many are watching me, and that's because I don't think that's what you should focus on when you're live. Of course, if you're just starting up and you're going from 1 viewer to 2, it's quite important and nice to know, hey, someone's watching my stream. But if I go from 1,400 viewers to 900 viewers, I don't want that to make me sad. So I don't look at my view count. I just chill out, have a good time, and hopefully people watch. And I think it has a better effect than me constantly thinking, ooh, I've gone up, ooh, I've gone down. I think it becomes, a lot of big streamers, I think, stress out when their view count goes down. And it makes them choose what game they're going to play more. Like if I'm a Siege streamer and I say, hey, today I'm going to play some Fortnite. And then I look and I've got half the amount of viewers I usually do. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to hop on Siege. That kind of sucks because maybe you would have had a really good stream playing Fortnite. The view count isn't everything. So that's why I don't focus on that. And I do the same on YouTube. I try not to focus too much on analytics. Try not to go too deep. At the end of the day, if I make good videos, my theory is that people will watch. But with that said, one of my biggest challenges on YouTube is finding a new audience. So when I read analytics, I very much look at how many new viewers are finding me, to try to find some sort of pattern with titles and thumbnails, because I'm okay with try-harding them and working on them. So I made a thumbnail for Gartic, very happy with it. I've decided for the video, which is going live tonight around the same time you're watching this, I think I'm going with a different title. I can tell you the title that I went with. So the thumbnail is going to be the same. It's the classic You Laugh, You Lose. This is the 5th one now for Gartic Phone. But the title is going to start with My Friends Hated This. Just because I'm going to experiment with it. And then probably anywhere from a few hours later to after upload to a day, I'll switch it to the You Laugh, You Lose Gartic Phone Edition number 5. A lot of big streamers do this. Linus Tech Tips does it very often. People get annoyed at him for it, but he says he has to because it works. And I know I've read that Mr. Beast has 3 thumbnails and 3 titles made for each video. And he switches through and stuff. It's a really good way. It's really good to have backups and stuff, especially when a video goes live. Let's say it's gone an hour. You can then go to analytics and it'll tell you how well your video's doing at this point compared to your other videos at this point. And it'll say like, oh, this is your 3rd most viewed recently at this point, you know, and it'll tell you how many are clicking percentage-wise, and if it's like really low, you know. So a good video of mine will have 13% click-through rate, perhaps. Meaning that when you see the video, 13%, then click it. But if I look and it's like, oh, 7%, then that maybe means that my thumbnail isn't bright enough. And maybe I have another one that I'll test. So it's stuff like that. I don't usually do that. I did it with the Overwatch video. The first Overwatch 2 video did really poorly. I called it overwatch2.exe. And then the thumbnail was like a wide Orisa. But that kind of style of thumbnail and title doesn't really fit my video editing style. I think people expect something different, and I think that's why it didn't do well. So I ended up changing the title and thumbnail quite late, about 2 days after upload, because it wasn't performing well. Changed it to something else, and it popped off and it went viral. It's most views a video of mine has gotten over a year. So it does work and help to have multiple thumbnails made, trying different things, and I'm trying to be more flexible, and included in that is reading analytics. So going back to yesterday, Saturday, I spent about 2 hours making a thumbnail, reading analytics, and preparing titles. I also wrote Good Vid Flash. I don't know what I mean by that. Good Vid Flash. Oh, yeah, he finished Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me. He's doing it in 2 parts, and he's finished part 1. Part 2 will have to come in January because he's going away for Christmas. But part 1 is really good. It's 30 minutes long. It's so funny. I gave him no notes. First I wrote no notes, great vid, good editing. And that's rare for me to not give notes, especially on a 30-minute video. Then I came in with a bit of a page because I was like, we need an intro, which he was planning to do. So I gave him some info on what I think he should do for the intro. And that was it. He did really well. I mean, the fact that he just needed to include an intro is insane. Because I'm really picky with my videos. Again, something I could go deeper into. What kind of notes I give people. Ask me, I can let you know, like, I could give you an example of a video. The way we do it with editors is they make the video with captions. They send it to me, a first draft. I watch it. I give them notes. They finish it. Then I watch it again. Usually it's okay. There might be one note I have at that point. Then they redo it, and then it's done. I could give you an example of notes I usually give, if you want. That's what I did yesterday. We also Hoba discovered that the Gartic phone video has flat audio. We thought it was because this is the first video we've tried Jeff's solution of Handbrake, the software I mentioned. But Sunset had a look, and it was because the audio was lower. And Jeff's a new editor. He doesn't know that you know this. My videos tend to be very loud. I think he didn't realize. He made it very, my videos, a lot of people will say are too loud. Same with my streams, but I can go into this if you want to. I think this is already quite long, 36 minutes, yeah. But I could do it in a future video, talk a bit about what I think about audio. Personally, I like loud, so we delayed it. It was going to go live yesterday, the video, but it's going live tonight. Sunset just adjusted because Jeff made the video, but he ran out of time, so Sunset finished some of the captions, and then we fixed the audio. It's going up tonight. That's basically it. That's what we discovered yesterday. So yeah, and then streamed some Overwatch too. It was chill. I like having a main game like Overwatch or whatever Battle Royale I'm liking at the time that I can fall back on when I'm not in the mood to do a hype stream with a new game. It's hard to find a new game for every stream. I'm impressed that streamers like Lyric manage. It takes energy. I love going live and just being like, oh, it's 9 p.m. I'm just here to chill a bit with Overwatch. And I always feel bad when a new viewer pops up and they're like, hey, it's my first time I'm here from YouTube. I'm like, don't watch this. This is like my... if Battle of the Boys is like a 10 out of 10 stream or like I hop on this funny co-op game with 3 friends, like that's a 10 out of 10. This is a good stream. That's what you should be your first stream. If you come on and I'm playing like Overwatch 2, just chilling, that's like a chill 4 out of 10 stream in my head, you know? So I'm always like, leave, come back later. like, but it's nice. So yeah, Friday, Saturday, I just streamed Overwatch, just chilled. It's nice when I don't have a lot of energy after doing receipts for 4 hours or if I'm just tired. Anyway, I've lost my voice. I talked for so long. Hope you guys enjoyed this first journal. Again, let me know if you have any questions in chat. I'll try to answer them in the next one. Let me know what you thought about this. If you're here at the end, then I assume you enjoyed it. Let me know if you thought I went too deep with some, I don't know. I want to keep this kind of casual, but let me know what you thought. Much love, guys. I'll see you around. Hope you enjoyed the Gartic phone video tonight. Bye.